welcome to our show today. We're starting something new this year, midweek, kind of recapping Ranger athletics from the previous week. And of course, we had a coach's show go out previously that highlighted last week's game, but let's look ahead to this week's game. And so we're joined today by our two coordinators. Jeff Shin on the far end there is our offensive coordinator. Craig Westerfer, a longtime coach here, is our defensive coordinator. And we're going to be talking about a little bit about Harker Heights game of a week ago, and then previewing the Madison game. So let's start with Harker Heights. Coach Westerfer, let's talk from your vantage point, the defensive side of the ball. What challenges did those guys pose?
Well, they had some really tall, athletic receivers that we struggled with a little bit at times. But I felt like as the game wore on, we got a little better defending those guys. I thought we did really well running the ball. I was really pleased with the effort that our kids showed, playing hard, and thought we did a nice job of stopping the run. We got to obviously improve on our pass defense.
Right.
But if we can continue to improve our run defense and fix the pass defense things, then I think we're on the right track.
Well, I think you're right. They certainly got some explosive plays. You stop them, and they get a 70. When you stop them, and they get a 60. And, when you play teams of that caliber, that can happen. And, so you got to play well all the time. But I think the biggest thing was our takeaways. Talk about those.
Yes, sir. I was really pleased. Our kids created 4 takeaways. We had a couple of sacks with fumbles and then a couple of interceptions as well. Created some short fields for our offense, tried to help there a little bit. So that's something we stress every day in practice. We try and create a turnover mentality, a situation where our kids are focused on trying to get the ball. And it's not easy to get 4 takeaways in today's game, but our kids did it. I was really proud of that.
It was, and field position counts.
Yes.
And whether you're creating field position with long kick returns, which we managed to do with several long kickoff returns and forcing some short punts, or you create field position with turnovers, as you mentioned. You get a takeaway. Next thing you know, your offense is running out there with a short field. And so when you win the turnover margin 4-0, you probably win the game. And in this case, we did. And Coach Shin, Harker Heights defense, had a couple defensive tackles that they kind of, I really didn't like looking at them before the game when they warmed up.
They were good-looking characters, that's right.
Oh boy, big as a house. So what challenges did they present to our offense?
Well, I think we did a great job. They are good players, just like we said, and they were playing a loose coverage and making us run the ball, and they felt like they were going to be able to stop our run with those guys. And we did a great job of playing with great effort and just kept punching the dam, as we say, and kept punching, and those 2- and 3-yard gains we stuck with. And towards the end of the night, third and fourth quarter, those 2- and 3-yard gains became 8 and 10 and got some explosive plays in there. So I was really pleased with the way the O-line played. Coach Touton had those guys ready to go. Had some guys on the O-line playing in some different spots for injury purposes. So they did an outstanding job. Our receivers, we talk about blocking with the O-line, but I was really pleased with the effort that they showed down the field and springing some touchdown plays, and it was a good place to start, Coach.
Well, I think the best thing they did, and you mentioned it, is just taking what was there. We needed to keep running the football, keep their explosive offense off the field, if nothing else. But also did a good job with our short passing game. How did that come about?
Yeah. We, like you said, we take what they give us, and they were giving us a soft coverage, and so we wanted to run the ball, and then they were giving us what we call gift throws, and we were getting some of our good players the ball quickly in their hands and just kind of making the defense defend the whole field, which I thought was a positive, and Jalen was able to get it out there. Kind of put Jalen in a spot to, hey, put us in the best play. You can either hand this ball off because they're all spread out, or throw it out there. They're kind of getting tight in the box and leaving Brooks or guys like that, with some space.
Right. And eventually, we took our shots up the field.
Eventually, they came down, yes.
We were able to run the football and throw short, and then, we hit a big throw to Zach McDonald, which I think was featured on our coach's show a day or two ago, and so that makes a difference. But and then I think, too, our kicker. Our kicker played well. Austin Hosier made his field goal attempt, made all of his extra point attempts. We had 2 big kickoff returns that were huge and creative.
Salvaggio had a big one.
Yeah, an unlikely
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
You know, they
That's
kicked it
right.
to our little guy, and we blocked him pretty good. We featured that on the coach's show too. We ran it down to the 30. So
Yeah.
they said, "We're not gonna kick it to him anymore. Let's kick it to this big old fullback over here." And we were
Mistake.
kidding Brandon. He'll be telling his grandkids 50 years
Yeah.
from now the time he ran the kickoff back all the way down to the 30. But that was a big play coming out of the
Yeah, it
half.
really was.
So 4 takeaways. Offense didn't turn it over at all.
Yeah.
So we're +4 in turnovers. I think we had 3 penalties. So a pretty clean game, all in all, against a quality team, and a big win.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Big
sir.
win. I researched this extensively, and after one game, the best you can be is 1-0.
Yes, sir.
That's
And,
right.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. We're doggone proud of it. So appreciate my research on that. So, but unfortunately, though, in this, you spend all your time patting yourself on the back for winning one game. You got to play again. Madison.
Yes, sir.
What a mistake scheduling.
Yeah, I don't know who sets our schedule up, but
I don't either. But
Madison, as always, is very talented. And, they got a good quarterback.
Well, let's talk about their offense. That's what your side of the ball has to defend this week. They haven't sent us a roster or a depth chart, and they hadn't played a game yet. And in scrimmages, they wore blank numbers, so we don't really know what we're getting from a name and faces. But you've seen enough of them on tape. What do we got to defend this week?
We're going to have another dual threat quarterback. He can throw it and run it. Very talented. Got a couple of talented running backs, as Madison usually does. And then he got a couple of receivers that they really like to feature. I'm not sure what number there are. One plays on the left-hand side, and he's a little bit of a taller kid, present a little bit of a challenge to us, especially after last week.
Right.
We can see how we improve there. And the quarterback does a great job of running the ball in some read game, where he has the option of handing it off or running it, and then he does a nice job of throwing the ball and distributing it to his different receivers. So we'll certainly have our hands full. Their O-line is solid as usual. They don't really have any glaring weaknesses, so we're just going to have to go out there and execute and do what we do better than they would do what they do.
Somebody said that before.
Yes, sir. I've heard that somewhere, maybe in
Yeah.
some staff meetings.
Yeah, maybe so. Coach Shin, how's Smithson Valley going to be able to move the ball on Madison? What challenges do they present on that side of the ball?
Yeah, well, different than a week ago. We played a 4-down front a week ago with Harker Heights. These guys are based out of a 3-down. We're going to have to be locked in because sometimes it's 3-4, sometimes they slide to 3-3, and they'll even jump into some 4-downs sometimes. So we're going to have to be locked in on our assignments. I'm going to have to continue to build off the effort that we played with. And then, the defense has done such a great job. We got to continue to take care of the football. And if we can continue to stay in the plus territory in the turnover margin, we've given ourselves a much better chance to win. Secondary-wise, very solid secondary. They're going to get a little more down there with those safeties, and I expect them to be a little further down there than what we saw a week ago. And they're big old nose guard, defensive ends. We got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They got a returning all-district player at nose guard. Be very, very similar to the 2 that we had to block
That's
a week
correct.
ago. But when you're in 27-6A playing Steele and Clemens and New Braunfels and Judson and Wagner and all the other ones, I guess there's no sense scheduling any patsies and giving yourself a false sense of security. And we certainly haven't done that. But we'll be at Comalander Stadium, where we've played Madison a few times. We've had a few historic battles against those guys, and this one's a non-district game, maybe not quite as much at stake, but our kids will be excited, and we'll have to continue to take care of the ball, as we mentioned, win the turnover. Got to get margin. We got to limit explosives, which we discussed, and then we got to create some too. I don't know that we can sit there and push them around on 8, 10, 12 play drives over and over and over. We'll have to get some big chunk plays, whether that's in the passing game, running game, and then can we continue to make kicking game impact plays. So anyway, but that's not the only, football's not the only sports going on at Smithson Valley right now. We're hip deep in the cross country season. Volleyball's going, team tennis is going. Got other ones about to launch here in a month or so. So Let's call on Coach Courtney Patton, our assistant athletic coordinator, as well as our head volleyball coach. Let's see what else is going on in Smithson Valley Athletics this week.
Thanks, Coach. I'm Courtney Patton, your head volleyball coach and assistant athletic coordinator here at Smithson Valley. I'm going to talk with you about some of the things that we've got going on our campus. Our tennis team played New Braunfels last week and got a huge win. That's a team they haven't beat in 20 years, so we're really excited for those kids. This week they're going to travel to Clemens for their second match in district. Both teams are undefeated, so good luck to those boys and girls. Our cross-country team, boys and girls, went to the Cedar Park Invitational, where our girls placed third, led by Sarah Scott and Emily Mills, and our boys placed fourth, led by Garrison Mangum. Our volleyball team is 2 games now into district. They had program wins, which means all 4 teams were able to pick up wins against Wagner and New Braunfels. That New Braunfels win was something we haven't done in 8 years, so we're really proud of those girls as well. And I guess we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Coach Patton, and congratulations to all of our athletes over the successes of the previous week. And we look forward to getting another report next week. And hopefully these coaches will be back and we're having some good news about Madison, the Madison game. But either way, we'll be looking forward to bringing this to you each week. Our game against Madison this Friday will be live on the Rangers Network. You can watch. All of our subscribers will be sent a link, as they always are. If you're not a subscriber, text the message and the number that's on the screen and become a subscriber, and you'll get that link sent to you during the day on Friday, and that link will become live at 7:15. You can watch the Smithson Valley Madison football game this Friday night. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.